Part 8. From Japan to the World as the Social Contribution. JICA Hiroshima Lecture in 2025 on Ecological Purification System. Indonesia, Underground Water, China, Bangladesh, Nepal, Malaysia. Toward Zero Waste World by Chemical-Free System. Smart treatment system to make artificial spring water by eco-friendly technique. This EPS is our technology. I cooperated with Yamaha Motors' social contribution activities by EPS technology. There was a factory in Jakarta, Indonesia that manufactured engines for outboard motors, boats, motorcycles, and other automobiles. Since it was related to water, they also manufactured water purifiers. Yamaha Motor Company in Indonesia made a purifier for clean and safe water in 1991. Mr. Yagi came to Shinshu University. He asked how to make safe drinkable water without chemical from unsuitable source of water. Underground water contains iron and manganese in Jakarta Plain. Well water was clear. But the brown colloidal particle was formed soon. They could make clear water using cascade aeration system without any chemical reagent. I advised we can make safe water by ecological purification system of wise use of natural phenomena. Iron and manganese are oxidized and form nearly insoluble hydroxide sludge. They can be removed in a settling tank, a coarse filter. They planned to make a pilot plant in rural village. I also explain how to make clear water in rice field. Small animals collect silt and colloid particles in dirty water by the food chain. Then water becomes clear. They made a plant. Active growth of algae and grazing animals grow well in the channel. Active photosynthesis keeps aerobic condition. Periodical small drain to eliminate precipitate material and unhealthy organisms. This is new idea of ecological pretreatment system without chemical to reduce silt and colloidal particle for sand filter instead of URF. They adopted public tap system. Free tap system is very risky. I makes empty of the storage tank. Tap keeper collects money of filling the bottle for the maintenance cost of the plant. This water is used for drinking and cooking only. This water is not used for bathing and washing hands. Diarrhea and eye sickness are disappeared. Sanitary sense and its level are distributed among the villagers. This acts to protect naturally against sickness. One safe drinking water system which can maintain by local villagers as a social contribution of Yamaha Motor Company. 2 pilot test plant with several public taps was donated from Yamaha Company to Kagawang village near Jakarta, Indonesia. 3 villagers discussed how to maintain this plant by villagers. 4 villagers decided to collect money from the users in order to stock for maintenance. 5 water committee started a delivery service to other villages. 6 water committee maintains more than 15 years without any trouble. Underground water is sometimes not good quality for direct drinking. We will apply wise use of natural oxidation process for small organisms. Key is addition of oxygen. High concentration of iron and manganese in a tube well water was treated by a cascade aeration with an ecological purification system. Pre-treatment of cascade aerator using biological activity of bacteria, algae, and animals. And final treatment of slow sand filter. Use of natural slope, drinking water could be made by EPS, Bolivia, 2008. After 4 days, filtered water became clear. After 1 month, the water became drinkable water, in which coliform bacteria form was not detected. Mr. Sohei Iwata made a multiple URF system to make clear and drinkable water from brown underground water near Kolkata, India in 2008. Mr. Jin Shengzhe, translator of Chinese version, made several water plants in China in 2008 after the Sichuan Great Earthquake, May 12, 2008. Mr. Hua Daishan and his sons built EPS to made several safe drinking water plants helped by Mr. Jin Shengzhe. Finally, Mr. Hua and his sons made more than 40 plants of EPS by themselves. NHK World Living Beyond Boundaries reported this Chinese activity of EPS plants for rural people was reported on December 13, in 2014. In this report, they announced EPS was originated in Japan. Since 2002, I have cooperated with the Asian Arsenic Network, AAN, NGO, activity in Bangladesh. Surface water is polluted. The people use underground water. However, this water was contaminated arsenic. AAN checked the arsenate contamination. AAN made slow sand filtration system for safe water. I advised better SSF system using biological activity to AAN. Then, I was asked to consider a mechanism that can decompose pesticides without using chemicals. I explained that repeated growth of algae and decomposition by grazing animals, and real decomposition of pesticides and herbicides under anaerobic condition in fecal pellets. They made water purification system by EPS function. Repeated URF process of algal growth and decomposition by animals in 4 times. DO in water is necessary for animal activity in this system. Mr. Kawahara, leader of AAN, said to me this is not SSF. Then I proposed this is ecological purification system in Bangladesh in 2004. In mountainous country like Nepal, many houses are scattered on the slope. They use natural spring on the slope. I visited Nepal in September 2011. There were many spring waters. These waters by natural purified process are always clear and safe to use. Nepal is a mountainous country with a lot of precipitation. They also used rainwater. Spring water is abundant, and it is drawn through pipes and used carefully. Because of the large difference in elevation, it is difficult to adjust the water pressure with large diameter water pipes. In a mountainous country like Nepal, it seems that using spring water is a good way. I gave a talk on water purification to students at this university. I found a wonderful slogan in Professor Shiba Kumar Rai's room. 3 points worth to remember. This is very important to transfer our knowledge to the people. This is water source for Akan Water Works, Hokkaido, Japan. Porous pipes were placed under the gravel bed in a river. Almost suspended free water is taken for a slow sand filter plant. This is an intake of an artificial subsurface water. In case of mountain area, we can find a good quality of spring water. Wise use of natural purified water is the best. Ecological purification system, EPS, this is wise use of natural phenomena. This is chemical-free system to make artificial delicious spring water. This is a smart and eco-friendly technique. Key is presence of dissolved oxygen for the biological activity. We can make EPS purification device ourselves. I taught ecological purification system model for safe drinking water. JICA training in Okinawa, on January 16, 2024. This is circulation model of 2 URF system. Mr. Zairi, trainee of JICA Okinawa, returned back to Malaysia after JICA EPS training in Okinawa from January to February 2024. He applied EPS knowledge at his brother's house in April 2024. On April 6, he washed the sand. And EPS model was completed on April 11, 2024. April 11, 2024. Finally, his first EPS bucket model launching with production purification rate of 7.2 meter per day. He mentioned the volume of storage, filtrate, tank was 56 liters. He mailed that hoping after few weeks, and the algae start growing, the quality and production rate may improve. On April 11, 2024, Nakamoto. Thank you for your effort to make EPS model. I suggest that it is better to remove some gravel in URF. We can confirm the condition of URF which produce clear spring water. However, please cover the overflow pipe with gravel. Mr. Zairi. Yes, I agree with you, round tank is the best shape as the water tend to force the square wall to become round. I just found it when I see the URF tank maintain the shape. It's a lesson learned to me on how to design the tank. I take note your advice, sir. On April 11, 2024, Nakamoto advised. Well water, underground water, tube well water, often contains iron and manganese. Since there is sufficient dissolved oxygen in URF, these metal ions are removed by oxidation and precipitation. Precipitated iron and manganese accumulate on the gravel surface and at the bottom of URF. If the size of the URF gravel is too small, It will be difficult to remove the material that has hardly accumulated on the gravel surface over a long period of time, even with mud removal operations at the bottom. Therefore, in the case of well water, it is better to use large URF gravel of about 1 to 3 centimeters. It could be bigger. Nakamoto, April 11, 2024. Round tank is better for the model. Round tank is gentle for small organisms. If the sand filter tank is square, when sand or water enters the tank will try to become round and expand. The actual facility is made of concrete, which is good. Nakamoto, April 12, 2024. I suggest you that please put L cap and cover with mesh to keep out dust and animal contamination to filtrate water. We call the flow rate is in the supernatant water over the sand layer. The real flow rate in the sand layer becomes about double. Nakamoto, April 12, 2024. The filtration speed of the sand filter tank is 7.2 meter per day, in water layer above the sand, or 30 centimeters per hour. In the sand layer, water passes through the gaps between the sand. The space per volume is about half. The speed will be approximately doubled. Therefore, the flow rate of water in the sand layer is 60 centimeters per hour. Slow filtration is said to take time. However, when we calculated the actual flow velocity ourselves, we found that it was faster than we imagined. Mr. Zairi, September 15, 2024, just come back to hometown in Kelantan after 5 months installing the EPS. Thank you for the knowledge you share and benefits the people in rural area to enjoy crystal's clear, clean and delicious water. I feel proud and thankful for the knowledge I gain from JICA program. In addition, I want to share to all of you, upflow filtration method is super value for money, maintenance and stress-free as to compare to normal downflow filtration. June 9, 2025, I asked to Mr. Zairi that this was under construction photo or not. Mr. Zairi, yes, this picture is before I connect the filtrate pipe to kitchen tap behind the wall. While the black storage tank after sand filter only store about 180 liters and balance storage at the ceiling inside the house. Mr. Zairi, September 21, 2024. Done upgrading reticulation system from 56 liters storage to 454 liters for my village house. Thank you for the support I have received all this time, and I can describe EPS as old as gold. Mr. Zairi, September 21, 2024. Floating valve help me to maintain the water level that's self-filling water, underground water, into the sedimentation tank. On January 25, 2025, Mr. Zairi. I take this Chinese New Year holidays to review my EPS filtration after 8 months commissioned. The result still produce the same, fresh, cool and refreshing water. This is super clean delicious water. On June 6, 2025 Mr. Zairi. Comparison between first URF and second URF. It shows first URF works well in filtration for underground water. Nakamoto. You mentioned that water source is underground water. The first drain is brown. This means oxidized iron and another metal ions. The second is clear. This means that only one URF is very effective to remove dissolved metal ions in the underground water. I would like to set 2 URFs for safe system. I will introduce next this result for next JICA training. Thank you for this information. Mr. Zairi. Yes, first URF is enough, but for safety purpose second URF is a must. Exactly, and I found actually 1 URF is sufficient to filter the well water, but having 2 sets of URF is highly recommended for safety reasons. I always say don't afraid failures. People always make mistakes. We think we are lucky if we fail. The experience of failure gives rise to a true understanding of technology. Remember 3 points worth to remember. This is part 8 of EPS lecture in JICA Hiroshima, 2025. This lecture continue to part 9.